Located on the north side of Fort Worth, the construction of Texas Motor Speedway began in spring of 1995 and required the movement of more than 4 million cubic yards of earth before it was completed the following year. The oval originally featured unique dual-angle banking, and its first major race, an NASCAR Xfinity Series event in April of '97, was won by Mark Martin. Jeff Burton captured the first NASCAR Cup Series race the following day in front of a sell-out crowd of over 200,000 spectators. 2 months later, Kenny Irwin won the first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event held at the Speedway. The track has been good to Dale Earnhardt Jr. He won his first ever Xfinity Series race there in 1998. 2 years later, won his first Cup Series race. Shortly after Earnhardt's Xfinity Series win, the oval was reconfigured, eliminating the 8-degree section of the dual-angle banking. Tonight, the LSR Cup Series Lonestar Shootout 167. It's coming up next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to Texas Motor Speedway, the Lonestar Shootout 167 LSR Cup Series. Got 167 laps in store for you guys tonight. 4 sets of tires over the wall. Drivers will have one fast repair to work with, and in case we need it, we do have the option to go to 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Close out tonight's race. Hopefully we won't need it, but they're there in case we do. Taking a look at practice times here with about a minute left in the session. Zach Millett is your fastest so far, 29.97. Looks like Kevin Blue is second quick, 30.08. Keaton Burnett, 30.11. Drew Blaze, a 12. And Joe Tucker, a 30.35. Couch had mentioned earlier to us before we went live he'd be working a new paint scheme tonight. Looks like he's got the old gray ghost colors on that '08 Chevrolet. Big key to tonight's race, likely going to be tire conservation. The surface here at Texas Motor Speedway, definitely old and aged and wore out. Wreaks havoc on these Goodyear Racing Eagles. They've got 4 sets to work with throughout the course of the race, but they're going to have to conserve them and hopefully try and save a set for the last run, if at all possible. It's going to be tough to do, especially if we go long green flag runs. Looks like qualifying, though, just about ready to get underway. It seems Cody Anderson first to hit the racetrack. Let's follow Cody around on his out lap and first timed lap at Texas Motor Speedway. Cody Anderson out of Geneseo, Illinois. Got some watchers here in the stream side of things. Ralph Burnett, Chris Goins, David Tamira. David, our road racing guy. Good old Laura Buggy and Ben Tyne. Not chatting, but they're certainly lurking. Both of those two are creepers, I tell you. First lap for Cody Anderson, 30.859 seconds. Certainly not up to par for practice time. Second lap likely to be quicker. Keaton Burnett goes to the top of the board. We'll switch over here to Zach Millett. It's been quick since joining the LSR Cup Series. Late race contact with himself and Justin Johnson last week ended in both cars Not really getting the finish they had planned on, but Zach not to be deterred back here at Texas Motor Speedway. Going to try and seal the deal tonight. Millett starts his first qualifying lap. First lap for Millett, second quick, 30.068. Not quite enough for pole. Go to Justin Johnson. He's on his second lap, 30.702 was lap one for the driver of the 10. Lap two for Justin Johnson, 30.659, picked up just a bit. Still ninth quick on the board. Jesse Redding wraps up his second lap at 36.07, eighth fast Chris Goins. See if Chris is even on the speedway. Yes, he is. The number 6 Islanding Camaro. Chris Goins off of turn 4. Lap 1 for Chris Goins, 30.50 seconds, 8th quick on the board. And he's got another opportunity, but it looks like he blows turns 1 and 2, slides it up the racetrack. He's going to lose some time here, gets it into the outside safer barrier. Looks like lap 1 is going to be the quick time for Chris Goins. Just about 45 seconds officially left in the session. Keaton Burnett sits on the pole position here, 30.04 seconds. Zach Millett's best time at 30.07, just not quite enough to take the top spot. Let's take a moment here to thank some sponsors. In fact, we were going to do that, but I can't get that graphic to work, so never mind. Qualifying is just about wrapped up, though. 5 seconds, and we go official to our starting grid. Buggy and Ben Tyne finally saying, hey. Jade Asbury, same thing. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. All right, qualifying complete here at the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Let's get to it. On the pole position, it is Keaton Burnett, the number 26 with Lone Star Racing. Zach Millett, the outside front row, the 315, just about 2/100ths of a second, just over 2/100ths of a second off of that pole time. Row number 2, it is the 54 of Kevin Blue to his outside. Joe Tucker in the 13. Drew Blaze will roll off from the 5th spot. Ken Couch will start 6th. Drew Prohl, the number 89, starts in the 7th position. 8th goes to Chris Goins. Jesse Redding, the number 721 machine, he'll start from the 9th position. And Justin Johnson in the 10 will roll off 10th. Cody Anderson, the 17, will start from the 11th spot. Britt Osborne will start from the 12th position. Jonathan Arnn, 13th. Michael Cole, 14th. Last on the grid, the number 726 machine. Field rolls off a pit lane to start 1-of-1 formation lap. We're going to be green flag racing the next time by. Keaton Burnett with the pole position. Keaton rolls out in behind the pace car. Of course, iRacing pace car lights are off again. Only one lap to go to the green flag. Bigger tracks get the one lap. Smaller tracks, I think half mile or less, you get 2 formation laps just to make sure the whole field can get lined up where they are supposed to be. Keaton Burnett, though, front of the field, putting the HBR TV colors on the nose out front. Fahey's Fun Factory down the left and right sides. For 26 looking sharp at the front of the field. Field tightly formed up 2 by 2, at least at the front of the field for the first 4 rows. A couple of stragglers there in behind, but no worries. Pace cars down the pit lane, waiting on the green flag to wave. Keaton Burnett goes a tick early. Not sure if they're going to look at that, but Burnett to the throttle a tick too soon, possibly. Either way, into turn number 1 in front of Zach Millett. Kevin Blue in the 3rd spot, already making a look to the inside of Joe Tucker for position. These two work side by side off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Joe Tucker maintains the 3rd position while up front. Keaton Burnett still has the lead, but Zach Millett starting to get some heat into those tires. Goes down the back straightaway, right to the back bumper of the number 26. Trying to make a move here, taking a pit to the inside in turn 3. Will he have the spot? Possibly. Side by side through turns 3 and 4. Zach Millett on the bottom. Zach Millett, your new leader here, 3 laps in from Texas Motor Speedway. Further back through the field, Drew Prohl, the 7th position, the number 89 machine, as well as Chris Goins. Now Britt Osborne back in the 10th spot. Goins is 8th. Just up ahead of those two, it is the 08 of Ken Couch and the 8 of Josh Tart. Oh, trouble off turn 2. That Drew Prohl? Drew Prohl, okay, so it says the 8 on the door. It's actually the 89. Drew getting into trouble off of turn number 2. Gets it into the outside safer barrier. Drew Prohl now last place on the field, starting to close the gap back on Michael Cole. Chris Goins still working to the back bumper. The 08 of Ken Couch looking to the high side. This is a three-way battle here. Drew Blaze, the number one machine in front of these two cars. Blaze, Couch, Goins, Redding, and Osborne back to the 9th position. Chris Goins has completed the pass on Ken Couch. Ken trying to battle back. Meanwhile, Chris Goins trying to close the gap between himself and the one of Drew Blaze. A couple car lengths between these two as they work off turn number 4 at the stripe. Blaze has the 5th position, Goins 6th, Couch 7th, Redding and Osborne 8th and 9th. Justin Johnson runs 10th. Chris Goins running in the 6th position. Looks like he's got a birthday message on the front of that machine. Happy birthday, Vi. Might help if I spell it right, but it's spelled right on the hood of his car. Chris says she's watching the broadcast. Thanks for doing just that. And again, happy birthday. Zach Millett still to the front of the field, only just over 0.2 of a second advantage over Keaton Burnett. Keaton showing some real speed here this afternoon at Texas Motor Speedway. Himself and Millett both driving away from the rest of the field. Joe Tucker 3.6 seconds back in the 3rd spot. Kevin Blue 4th, 6 seconds back. And Drew Blaze 5th, 7 seconds back. racing tonight thanks to work. Zach has beat me enough for 1 week anyways. Mike, I get it, you're working, but you can't beat him if you're not here. Don't forget that. Chris Goins putting some pressure on the one of Drew Blaze. This would be for the 5th position. Blaze defending it nicely. In fact, Blaze is starting to catch Kevin Blue. Not sure if Kevin had a problem. Kevin was very slow down the backstretch. In fact, Drew Blaze goes by on the high side with relative ease. It's going to slow up Chris Goins just a bit. Goins looking to the high side, real tight off of 4 through the dog leg. Looks like Chris is going to take this position away. Chris Goins has got some pace, tucks right to the back bumper of the one of Drew Blaze. Blaze does drive away off the corner, though. Seen this a pretty common theme with the driver of the number 1 Miller Genuine Draft Camaro, is he does tend to back up the corner entry a bit, but that allows him to get back on throttle a little bit sooner than the car trailing. In this case, Chris Goins. Goes to the inside on Drew Blaze. He's going to take over the 4 spot. In fact, he clears the 1 off of turn number 4. Meanwhile, back up front, Keaton Burnett has retaken the top spot from Zach Millett. We missed it while watching the battle with Blaze and Chris Goins. Let's see if we can find it here in the live timing, see how he got around him. There's a lot of passing going on. Keaton Burnett, here we go. We'll go to the replay. Keaton Burnett passing Zach Millett for the top spot. We'll back it up a little bit, see how he set up this pass. He was already the inside when we started it. I'm going to guess here he got a run off of turn 4. Oh, they were almost side by side for quite a while. Now it looks like Keaton Burnett earned that one side by side with Zach Millett for quite a bit. Keaton Burnett went down low. Again, they were side by side through turns 1 and 2, stayed about the same through 3 and 4. Came across the line into the dog leg. Millett was still with the lead, but a nose to the inside does Keaton Burnett into turns 1 and 2 for the second time they were side by side. Turn number 2 gets nice and flat on corner exit, so they go down the straightaway another time. Does Burnett clear him into 3? Looks like he does just clear the 315 of Zach Millett. So Keaton Burnett back to the front of the field. Again, Keaton started on pole position here tonight. Millett was outside front row. Zach quickly took over the top spot. Keaton Burnett didn't miss a beat, though. Stayed right to the back bumper of that 315 Camry and eventually repassed Zach Millett for that top spot where he currently runs. 26 laps in already here at Texas Motor Speedway. Keaton getting all he can, using all the racetrack available. Well, Chris Goins has lost the spot to Drew Blaze again. They've gone back and forth a couple of times. Goins runs 5th. Blaze is 4th. Blaze, Goins, Couch, Redding back to 4 through 7. They were grouped up a lot tighter a few laps ago. They're still relatively tight in there. Again, keeping some distance, keep some air on the nose of those race cars. Otherwise, you're going to get a little bit of an aero push. Closest battle on the track still between Drew Blaze and Chris Goins. Blaze has extended that gap to about 4 or 5 car lengths off turn number 2. And Goins was able to make the pass, get by Drew Blaze. Blaze repassed Chris Goins. You see again how much of the racetrack Drew Blaze is using, especially off turn number 2 down the backstretch. He's right up against that wall, that safer barrier. Gives him a bigger arc into turn 3. Watch him again here, is how close he does get to that outside wall. Not as close into one as he's exiting the dog leg. Watch one more time as he works his way through turn number 2, exits the corner. See how high, wide, and handsome he goes down the straightaway this time. Almost forces it up, not quite as close as he was a lap ago. Kevin Blue has slipped back to the 9th position. He started 3rd this afternoon. I got to wonder if Kevin is just on a strategy here, trying to save some tires. This goes green a long way, which it very well could. We do see that quite a bit, especially on these bigger tracks. Guys mind their P's and Q's. Don't get that caution brake. Change the tires. Again, 4 sets over the wall. Again, counting the one on the car, you got 5 sets to work with for 167 laps. If no one was saving a set for the end, you could see guys start to take to pit lane right about now. If you broke it up equally across all sets of tires, counting the ones on the car, you can stop for tires roughly every 33, 34 laps, and you'd be good to go to the end. The problem is these guys may want to try and save a set. In case they get a late caution, maybe 20, maybe 15 laps to go, you want that extra set of tires over the wall. You can peel down pit road and be like Superman there at the end. Again, best lap time so far was Zach Millett at 29.98. His last lap was a 32.21. So a good bit of fall off, about a little less than 2.5 seconds from fresh tires to this point in the race at lap 34. So a huge difference in pace from new tires to old. You see Joe Tucker here. He's in the 3rd spot, but not for long. About to lose that position to Drew Blaze. Drew Blaze to the inside on Joe Tucker. Tucker to the top. Number 13 machine's going to slip from 3rd to 4th. Drew Blaze now into the top 3. Gonna try and set his sights on the 3:15 is Zach Millett in P2. He's next on the hit list. Burnett now out to a 2.7 second lead over Zach Millett. Drew Blaze back 5.5 seconds. For now, Kevin Blue hanging in the 9th spot. I got to imagine Kevin's just saving some tire at this stage. His best lap of 30.36, pretty quick. Last lap of 32.27 was actually faster than Zach Millett at 32.41. Drew Blaze at 31.88. Tucker 32.22. Chris Goins 32.13. So again, Kevin Blue, though he's not up in the top 5, running pace right there with the leaders. Keaton Burnett checking out on the field as he does approach the first lap car. Jonathan Arn, the number 43, goes 1 lap down to Keaton Burnett. Burnett off turn 4. Jonathan Arn now in the lucky dog position if we do get a caution. We did talk about pit stops and how much tires they had over the wall. They do have 100% fuel load, so they can certainly go a ways on fuel, but tires could become an issue. It's something they're going to want to keep a close eye on. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze has gone around Zach Millett. Zach Millett free falling through the field here late in this run at lap 42. Got to wonder if Zach burned up his tires a little bit too early on. He currently does have the fastest lap of the race, only far under 30 seconds at 29.98. Millett about 10 car lengths behind the one of Drew Blaze. Drew starting to set his sights on the current leader. That is Keaton Burnett. Keaton Burnett has certainly shown some pace as well, but he's running just about a 1/10.5 slower than Drew Blaze at this stage of the race. And pit stops relatively soon to be coming. In fact, Kevin Blue already in the pits. Kind of surprised. We thought he was trying to save some tires, but he's the first one down pit road. Possibly some damage for that 54 machine. And looks like he did get into the wall a bit. .5-second stop for Kevin Blue, so he must have gotten into the fence and damaged that number 54 machine in some way, shape, or form. Did take some time there to get him back out into the race. He's going to go at least another lap down here. He's 3 laps down as it is. In fact, he did just go down that lap. Keaton Burnett has gone around. So yeah, 3 laps down, 14th position for Kevin Blue. Meanwhile, Keaton Burnett still out front. Drew Blaze, Joe Tucker, now Zach Millett back to 4th. Battle for the 3rd spot, Joe Tucker and Chris Goins. Tucker, the number 13, he runs in that 3rd position. Chris Goins making a look to the inside in 3. Nothing doing there for the 6, but give it another lap or 2 as the 43 of Arn is up top. Again, a lap car, a little loose off turn 4. Arn keeps it straight. Going to put the brakes on this battle between Tucker and Goins for just a moment, but it's going to be back on momentarily. Tucker down to the bottom, Goins just behind, maybe a car length and a half in the rear. Good run off of turn 4. Chris Goins right to the back bumper of the 13 of Tucker through the dog leg. Taking a look to the inside into 1. We've seen this move pay off a couple of times today. Chris Goins to the bottom. Tucker yields the spot. Tucker way up out of the groove into the marbles in turns 1 and 2. Chris Goins is going to take over position number 3. Lap 49 goes on the board. They're clicking away in a hurry. At this stage, if we keep going green, we're not going to need to worry about tire sets because we have almost gone the length of 2 full sets, typically 33, 34 laps, where you start to see the most fall off, but they've kind of equalized. Those lap times have not really gotten any slower since about that lap 33 mark. So once they get to a certain point, it's just a matter of wearing them out, taking them to the end of their useful life. And then you got to worry about pits. Oh, and Arn is in the wall off of 2, straightens it out, keeps it out of traffic. We stay under the green flag. And Keaton Burnett in the pit lane for his first scheduled stop of the day. Number 26 machine looks pretty clean. Kept it out of the fence so far this afternoon. Out of trouble, out of traffic, because it's been in the wind all afternoon since the drop of the green flag. A brief battle with Zach Millett, but Keaton Burnett in pit lane as the leader. Drew Blaze takes over the top spot. Chris Goins to 2nd. Now Tucker, Redding, and Millett, your top 5. Keaton Burnett, extended stay on pit road. I don't know if he got a speeding penalty. Very well could have been the case. Keaton Burnett, too fast entering pit lane. I think that's going to be the call here. We'll take a look at the time on the stopwatch when they finally release him out of the box. Should be about 55 seconds or so. And there you have it, 55.87 seconds in the box. That means a 15.87 second stop with a 40-second penalty for speeding on pit road. Keaton Burnett pits as the leader and bites himself. Tough break so far. He's going to need a caution or 2 to get back into this. Meanwhile, Zach Millett, Britt Osborne, Michael Cole also down the pit lane. Michael Cole just short of the box, gets in there properly, uses the fast repair. Zach Millett down and away as well. 15.10 seconds for the 315 machine. Britt Osborne down and away as well. Back out front, familiar place for Drew Blaze, leading this race. Got a 4.9 second advantage over second place running Chris Goins. Gonna wonder how long these guys are gonna wait to pit now. It looks like the top 5 yet to hit the pit road. Jonathan Arnn is the same. He is not pit, but he's 7th, not on the lead lap. Looks like everyone's multiple laps down at this point outside of the top 5. Again, pit cycle under the green flag is really the reason for that. Drew Blaze right on the bottom. He's going to stay out at least another lap. Drew Blaze still out on the racetrack. Meanwhile, Tucker, Goins, and Redding all on the pit lane getting their scheduled service. That's going to leave only a couple out on the track. Drew Blaze, Justin Johnson, that have yet to pit. Goins is down and away. 15.08 seconds in the box. Justin Johnson stays out another lap, as does Drew Blaze. 19 seconds, Drew Blaze. The lead has on second place Justin Johnson. Again, pit cycles all underway. The top 2 to this point have yet to see the pit road. Zach Millett has cycled through to the 3rd position, albeit a lap down. And again, I gotta say it, the tire fall off, it was bad at first, but they have gone almost 60 laps here under the green flag without really losing too much time since about lap 33. Fresh tire pace was, of course, much faster, about 2.5 seconds or so quicker. But last lap for Drew Blaze, a 32.30. He crosses the line again, a 32.28. So consistent lapping for the one. And it's been that way now for about 25, 28 laps. Without falling off any further. Again, it's just a matter of where. Don't want to go too long. Again, these guys, I'm sure, are trying to save tires, at least to save a set to the end. But 60 laps in, I think everybody's going to have an extra set at this point. You're going to see the difference now. Keaton Burnett on fresher tires, going to go by Drew Blaze like he's tied to a tree. Keaton Burnett to the bottom, gets one of those laps back the old-fashioned way. Now Keaton is still 1 lap down. Now, he was 2 laps down at the time he just went around Drew Blaze, so of course now it's 1. Simple math here. But Drew Blaze and Justin Johnson staying out on the racetrack even still. Everybody else in the field pit around lap 52, lap 56. I think they're just kind of gambling here, waiting for the potential of a caution. While Zach Millett's going to pass Drew Blaze, he's going to get a lap back as well. correction, that's not Zach Millett. That is the 721, 726 of Michael Cole. And Drew Blaze looks like he's coming in. Drew Blaze in the pit lane for his first stop of the day at lap 63. Now Justin Johnson stays out one more lap. Definitely a 4-tire stop here for Drew Blaze. Of course, top off the tanks. Drew Blaze jackets down 15.42 seconds. Well, Justin Johnson into turn number 3. He's going to take over the top spot. Zach Millett now officially into the second position after that stop from Drew Blaze. And everybody a little bit off cycle from the former leaders, Blaze and Johnson. They pit about 12 laps ago, where Drew Blaze was about a lap or two ago. Justin Johnson still the only car out on the track that is yet to see pit road today. Justin Johnson now on the pit lane. At Aville RC just wondering if the drivers adjusted to the trucks and are they liking them better than the cars. Not sure what you're asking. The Lone Star Racing Series, at least now, is running the Gen 6 Cup car. I think they run a truck league possibly after this. Maybe you can fill me in. Justin Johnson, 4 tires and fuel again. The 10 is down and away. Zach Millett takes over the top spot. Chris Goins into the second position. That's going to cycle about 9 cars total back to the lead lap. Lucky we did not have a caution there. I know Justin Johnson, Drew Blaze probably wouldn't have minded that because it would have put them on a lap of their own, but still at the front of the field now. Zach Millett, 3 seconds the advantage over the 6 of Chris Goins. 5.5 back to Joe Tucker in third. Drew Blaze 7.6, Jesse Redding 10.5. That's the top 5. Again, so far no cautions this afternoon here at Virtual Texas Motor Speedway. 68 laps under the green flag. Everybody on varying strategies pit wise. We've seen guys come in as early as, well, Kevin Blue hit the pit lane at lap 40. Then we've seen others at 43 and 49, 50, 52, 56, 63, and that was Drew Blaze. Now Justin Johnson probably going to have the highest number as far as that end of it goes. Lap 65 for the driver of the 10. Drew Blaze currently running in the 4th position all by his lonesome. He's got Joe Tucker just up ahead and Jesse Redding in behind. Drew Kroll, the number 8 machine, even though it's 89, closes the gap there on the 421 of Britt Osborne right to the back bumper. Maybe loosen Britt up just a bit. Britt, however, running 14th, not a lead lap car. Drew Kroll in 9th. About a 4-lap difference in tires between these two, which might explain why Drew's having a tough time getting by Osborne. Bert Osborne able to pull away just a bit from Drew Prohl. Jesse Redding, though, in the 5th position. Field pretty well strung out after the green flag stops here on lap 73. Ooh, Cody in the fence just a bit off turn number 2. Pancaked it just a little bit. Continues on. Again, doesn't lose too much track position there. A little bit to Jesse Redding in behind. Redding running in the 5th position. About 3 or 4 car lengths behind Cody. Cody must not be on the lead lap. In fact, he is 1 lap down, running in the 11th position. Michael Cole running in the 8th spot. He's up 6 positions, started 14th here this afternoon. Having a good solid run so far. Pete Burnett still running in the 7th spot. After his penalty in the pit lane, again, busted for speeding on pit entry. Pit has the leader. Comes out with a mountain of space to try and overcome. Pete Burnett still, though, on the lead lap after that cycle in the 7th spot. Not by much, though. 25 seconds behind the leader, Zach Millett. And Zach is likely to start closing that gap on the 26 shortly. As you see, Burnett goes down the backstretch. It's less than a straightaway advantage, it seems. Just about a straightaway between Keaton Burnett and Zach Millett. But the difference between the 3:15 and the 6 of Goins is shrinking. Goins closing the gap 0.4 of a second to the 3:15 machine as they get ready to cross the line, put lap 78 on the board. About 6 laps shy of halfway. Around about lap 83 would be the halfway point of tonight's race. Chris Goins looking to the inside on Zach Millett off of turn number 2. This is the battle for the top spot here at Texas. Chris Goins into turn 3 has position on Zach Millett. Millett battling back up top, pinches the 6 down at the bottom off turn 4, carries a little bit of momentum to defend that spot. Battle continues at the line. Millett's going to lead that lap, put 80 on the board. Goins down to the bottom again in turns 1. Still side by side, a few feet between the two. They work off of turn number 2. Millett slides it off just a bit. Again, a little bit of momentum, gets to the throttle sooner than the 6, carries that down the straightaway into 3. Goins back to the bottom again, unable to complete the pass. Goins dives it down low. Good run deep into turns 1 and 2. Goins trying to put the power down. Millett way out of the groove, gets into the loose stuff. Looks like he's going to get the spot here. Chris Goins, new leader off turn 2, down the back into 3. Going starting to put some distance on the 315 of Millet. Just about 0.4 of a second the advantage for the 6. Chris Goins coming up on the 54 of Kevin Blue. Blue runs in the 12th position, still not a lead lap car. About to lose another one here. Millet drops back to 0.6 of a second behind the 6 of Goins. Drew Blaze third, about 2.8 seconds back. Tucker 3-1. Redding about a full 9 seconds back from the leader in 5th. In the YouTube chat, vacation in Indy for the 500 took precedent over racing tonight. See everyone next week. Certainly can't say that I blame you, Sean. We made it there, I want to say about 2017, whatever the 100th running was. An amazing event. Indianapolis 500, if you've never been, it's just one of those bucket list items you've got to check, especially if you're a race fan. Even if you're not, it is just an event to behold. 343,000 people there when we went. We did leave early. Alexander Rossi ended up winning the race. We watched it from the hotel room, and then we ended up watching the 600 from the hotel room. And when the 600 was over, they still hadn't gotten everybody out of the speedway. So just something to keep in mind. We are past halfway here at Texas Motor Speedway. Chris Goins out in front. I believe this is our 4th leader of the day. It was Keaton Burnett, Zach Millet, Justin Johnson, and now Chris Goins. We've had more lead changes than that, but this is our 4th leader. Zach Millet continues to free fall again. We saw this in the first set of tires. He had some pace early on, but started to slip late. And the caution is on the speedway. Jonathan Arn possibly in trouble. Yes, indeed. Way late down the straightaway. Gets it turned around and into the safer barrier. Take a look at the replay, see what happened with Jonathan Arn. Loose a little bit off turn 2. See the rear end step out just a bit. Gets it into the fence, or does he? 421 of Britt Osborne gets into the back. Again, the pace and the momentum of the 43 had all been lost. Osborne closed the gap quickly, couldn't get wound up in time, and gets to the back bumper of the 43. Sends Jonathan Arn around on the backstretch. Puts us under our first caution of the afternoon. Arn down pit road. Keaton Burnett as well. Not sure that the pits are open just yet. Keaton may get a penalty for this one. I'm not sure. There are 90 laps in, and the pits are now open. Chris Goins, Zach Millet, Drew Blaze, Joe Tucker all down. Jesse Redding as well. Top 5 cars at least hitting the pit lane here. 90 laps in. Nueve Designs Lonestar Shootout 167. It's going to be a big strategy race. I've just got that feeling. Gone this far under the green flag. Have not had a single caution until right now. Jones is down and away, as is Blaze and Millett. Not sure who's going to win the race off pit road there. It looks like it might have been Zach Millett, but no, Drew Blaze by a nose. Just a bit faster stop for the one, 14.47 seconds, but lightning fast for Chris Goins, 14.38 seconds. Fastest stop I've seen in a while, at least for 4 tires. Chris Goins, Drew Blaze, Zach Millett, Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding. That's going to be your top 5 when we go back to the green flag. We are going to step aside here, take a very short break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Texas Motor Speedway, the LSR Cup Series. Nueve Designs Lonestar Shootout 167. Chris Goins, your current leader. Drew Blaze, Zach Millett, Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding. The balance of your top 5. We're working the first caution of the afternoon for an incident with Jonathan Arn. He got contact from Britt Osborne as Arn got loose off of turn number 2. Spins it down the back straightaway. Yellow flag comes out. First caution of the day. It was about lap 89, lap 90 officially. Pretty good long green run in the first half of this race. And we do have 5 races left before the season comes to a close. Let's take an opportunity, at least try to take a look at our point standings. Drew Blaze, 241 points, the leader over Chris Goins. Sean Roberts, again, he's 3rd in points coming into the event, but as we just talked to Sean here a moment ago in the chat, on vacation in Indianapolis, he's going to drop a little bit here. Keaton Burnett, Josh Tart, 4th and 5th, and so on down to 18th and further. You can see it is awfully close here, especially within the top 5. It's anybody's championship at this stage of the season. Race car lights are off. We're going to go back to the green flag here, this time by lap 94. Eric Beadle commenting in the Facebook chat, cheering on Zach Millett. Pace car peels off the banking, getting ready to go back to the green flag. Chris Goins lights him up. He's on and running. Green flag waves. Goins, Blaze, Millett, the top 3. Tucker, Redding, the balance of the top 5. Off turn 4, Zach Millett from 3rd to 1st in the restart. Lap 95 goes on the board. Millett back to the point. Chris Goins is 2nd. Blaze hangs on to 3rd. Joe Tucker runs fourth. Keaton Burnett, caution got him right back in the mix here, runs fifth. Definitely got a fast hot rod in that number 26 HBR Camaro. Keaton Burnett looks to the inside of Joe Tucker. These two are also closing some ground on Drew Blaze. I've seen this as a pattern, though, a little bit throughout the season thus far. Drew Blaze, he's always got pace. He's always near the front, but he also has a little bit in reserve for the last third of the race. He'll really turn up the wick a little bit as we get close to this finish. You'll see him start to charge back towards the front and challenge these leaders, Chris Goins and Zach Millett, for that top spot. Keaton Burnett, though, certainly showing his strengths as well here at Texas Motor Speedway. Runs up in the fourth position, took fifth away from Joe Tucker. Now he's looking down low on Drew Blaze, wants that third spot. Keaton Burnett takes over P3. Drew Blaze drops down another one. Keaton Burnett on a mission, trying to get back to the front of this field. Zach Millett, though, a big lead now over Chris Goins, 1.7 seconds. Keaton Burnett, though, on the charge, about 2 seconds behind Zach Millett as he starts to put the moves on the 6 of Chris Goins for the second spot. They work down the backstretch. Lap 100 on the board. They work into turns 3 and 4. Keaton Burnett knocking on the door of the 6 as they come off of turn number 4. Keaton drops it down to the bottom of the racetrack, turns 1 and 2. Goins slides up just a bit. Keaton slides off the bottom to exit the corner, maybe trying to build a run. Goins still has some pretty good pace, though. These guys don't want to battle too hard at this stage. They're going to let Millett get away. 2.58 seconds now. Millett has on second place Chris Goins. That jumped up to almost a full second loss with these two battling for this position. You almost got to wonder, is Chris Goins let Keaton Burnett go and then chase him down with him? Both drivers have the pace. Someone's got to make a decision here. Otherwise, Millett is just going to walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Minnick in the YouTube chat. What's going on, Brandon? Battle between Keaton Burnett and Chris Goins has somewhat tamed itself down, but Keaton Burnett looking to the inside into 1. Can he clear the 6? He slides up. He might have the spot. Looks like Keaton Burnett does. Move the 26 of Burnett to position 2 down the backstretch, lap 104. Brandon Minnick also in Indiana. I assume you're at the track. Maybe. Back to Mississippi in the morning. Oh, that's too bad. You're in Indiana. You might as well make a weekend of it. This is a moving mission, Brandon Minnick says. Moving the family to Indiana. Good stretch of cars here from second on back. Keaton Burnett, Chris Goins, Drew Blaze. You got Drew Kroll, Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding to round it out. Drew Kroll, though, he's on a good pace here. Looking to the outside on Drew Blaze. Again, you got to wonder if Drew Blaze is just playing possum here, sandbagging a little bit, saving his stuff. These guys proved that they could go quite a ways on a set of tires once that fall off kind of reaches its equal point. We're running laps about 31.12 in that range right now. They're going to lose at least another second. These tires really start to fall off. See Chris Goins, though, starting to gain that ground back on Keaton Burnett for the second spot, but Drew Blaze way high in turns 2. Keeps it off the fence. Not sure if that was planned or if he just got out of the groove, but Drew Kroll trying to take advantage there in the 5th spot. Closest battle on the track for now, Chris Goins and Drew Blaze. Keaton Burnett maintains the second spot, trying to close the gap on Zach Millett. Millett still at the front of the field. In fact, let's take a moment here. Let's try and go through the field. Take a look where everyone is running. Find your favorite driver. Zach Millett currently in the lead. Started outside front row. Keaton Burnett had the pole. This has been the best run so far for Zach Millett. Took the lead over relatively quickly after the restart. Continues to lead here. That restart was at about lap 92, I believe it was. Now we're at lap 111 with 56 laps to go. Zach Millett firmly in command at the front of the field. Another pit stop likely to occur before this one's said and done. Keaton Burnett, pole sitter this afternoon, got a pit road speeding penalty. There we go. But has managed to work his way back into position number 2. Been a tough afternoon for the 26. He's definitely got plenty of pace. We'll see if he can challenge the 3:15 as this race continues on. Chris Goins in the 3rd position, at least for the moment. Drew Blaze looking down to the bottom. Goins had some time at the front of the field as the leader as well. So far, runs in the 3rd position, trying to keep that spot from Drew Blaze. Drew Blaze started in the 8th spot as he does take over a 3rd from Chris Goins. There we go. Move Drew Blaze up to P3. Again, we talked about that. He's up a couple of positions thus far. Does seem to turn the wick up a little bit later in the race. Tends to be his MO. Save the car, save the tires, and push when it's time. Joe Tucker runs in the 5th position. Started 4th this afternoon. Tucker out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Running the number 13 Just Do It colors this afternoon. Drew Kroll running in the 6th position. Started 7th. Again, a solid afternoon so far. Looks like Drew wearing the 8X machine. Listed as the 89. Just don't get confused in the live timing for that. Jesse Redding, the 7th place running machine. The 721 Fahey's Fun Factory Camaro. Almost looks like a Camry with that paint job on it, but it's a Chevy after all. Ken Couch running the 8th spot, started 6th. Again, that gray ghost paint scheme that Dale Jr. ran. I think it might have been Michigan back in the day. One of my favorites. Certainly looks good, even with an 08 on it. Ken Couch making it look good. Michael Cole runs in the 9th position. So far, a solid afternoon. Again, he started 14th, up 5 positions on the day. Justin Johnson back in the 10th position. Justin actually had some laps led here during the pit cycle, but he worked his way up there, worked that pit strategy, tried to stay on the same strategy with Drew Blaze. Drew came in about a lap or two sooner than Justin, but still solidly running in the top 10. Those are your lead lap cars here from Texas. You're through the field. Zach Millett still leads 1.7 seconds on Keaton Burnett. That gap is shrinking. Keaton is starting to close down the leader, Zach Millett. Millett crosses the line here, 51 laps to go, and we'll call this one a race. Again, pit stop still to happen. At this point, they are all within their window for fuel and tires. Sure, they're going to try and stretch it as late as they can. They don't want to get caught a lap down with a caution that could come out. Again, they've been really clean this afternoon. It took them about 90 laps to get to that first caution. Spot goes to the bottom there on Drew Blaze. Blue not on the lead lap, but he is trying to work his way, trying to race back to the front, trying to get one of those laps back on his own. He is 3 down, but every one of them counts. And Chris Cohen's still running in the 4th position. He's got Joe Tucker in behind. Drew Blaze not really losing sight of Keaton Burnett. Blaze runs 3rd, Burnett 2nd. Not sure if the tires are just falling off with Zach Millett or if Keaton Burnett and Drew Blaze are just getting faster. Last lap for Millett, a 31.92. Keaton Burnett, a 30.02. Sorry, a 32.02. Drew Blaze was a 31.64. There it is. Keaton Burnett picks up the pace as well, 31.69. The gap is shrinking, though. Less than 1 second from Millett back to Keaton Burnett. Now Kevin Blue working to the inside of Zach Millett, or at least trying to, taking a peek down there, trying to get that lap back. Kevin Blue pitted lap 105, so definitely fresher tires on the 54, but he's just trying to work his way by the leader, get that lap back, maybe catch a caution, get waved back around. You got to keep trying. You got to keep turning those laps. You got to keep your foot planted and keep going. Just because you're 3 laps down, it's not over yet. Anything can happen. Stranger things have certainly happened. Kevin Blue looks to the outside, crosses over, now down low on the 315 of Millett. This battle is certainly costing Zach some time. It's about 0.4 of a second back to Keaton Burnett. Blue does get by Zach Millett, gets one of those laps back the hard way. Blue's going to continue on the throttle and extend that gap, try to work his way back around again, or hope for a caution and try it one more time. Keaton Burnett, though, for the lead. Drew Blaze in tow. Looking to the inside on Zach Millett. Lap 125. Do we have a new leader? Keaton Burnett at the stripe. He's going to lead this lap. Zach Millett's going to try and battle back on the high side. It's between the top three. Millett up top, Burnett down low. Blaze and now Goins into the picture as well. Top four all in this mix. Keaton Burnett solidly into the lead. Millett now trying to battle against Drew Blaze right on the door of the one as he worked through turn 4. Chris Goins now taking a look to the outside. Maybe he's going to try and stick with the 315 of Millett. 41 laps to go here from Texas. New leader again is Keaton Burnett. The battle for second continues to rage. Drew Blaze, Zach Millett, Chris Goins in behind the whole thing. He's just watching it unfold. That car in front of him is just hanging it out off of turn 4. Blaze looking to the inside of Zach Millett into turn 3. Might happen this time. Zach looks like he might be letting him go, or does he? Maybe just backed up corner entry, got back to the throttle a little sooner. It's a bit of a Drew Blaze move, but crossover coming. Millett looks to the bottom. Block comes from the Drew Blaze machine, gets in the grass, does Millett. Back down into turn number 1. Millett into one, little too much, has to check up considerably. Chris Goins right to the back bumper of that 315 Camry. Off turn 2 down the backstretch. Chris Goins is going to have a run. Battle continues now for the third spot. Drew Blaze now takes over second. Chris Goins around the outside on the 315 of Millett. Millett now back to fourth. Zach Millett putting on a very strong pace early on in this run, but maybe too much. A little too much pace on that machine, trying to get a good lead in front of the field. Unfortunately, he may have burned up the Goodyear Racing Eagles underneath that Camry as he does continue to free fall back into the fourth position. New top 3 is Keaton Burnett, Drew Blaze, Chris Goins. 38 laps left to go. 37 now, that is, as Keaton Burnett crosses the start-finish line. Zach Millett runs in the 4th spot here. He's going to have some company in the form of Joe Tucker momentarily. Tucker and Millett on the same tire strategy, but it seems that Tucker may have saved a little bit more than the 315. Tucker goes to the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Had to check up pretty hard to stay off the door of Zach Millett. But down the back stretch, they drag race into 3. Tucker still on the bottom, still side by side with Zach Millett. Tucker grabs a whole lot of wheel off of turn 2 and gets to the inside of Millett again down the backstretch. Zach continues to battle a battle. Meanwhile, Drew Prohl has now entered the picture. He's going to become a part of this battle as well. Just a matter of time before we take that last set of tires. Zach Millett finally gives up the position. Tucker takes the 4th spot. Drew Prohl is going to try and take 5th away from Millett. Millett now back to 6th. Ken Couch, the 7th place machine. He's about 8 seconds back. Drew Prohl involved there. I don't believe Prohl. Yeah, Prohl is a lead lap car. He runs in 6th. Thought he had that position on Millett, but now he goes to the high side. Cody Anderson looking as well. Anderson a lap down in 12th. Zach Millett in the pits. Didn't even see him peel off the racetrack. He's going to make his final stop of the day. This may drag the rest of the field down the pit lane. Zach might have thought he's given up enough track position at this point in the race. Time to go. Lap 139 goes on the board. Millett's going to lose a lap, but everybody else still is going to need to pit at least once. It's going to be a matter of how much time will be left at the end of the race to take advantage of the fresher tires that everyone else, excluding Zach Millett, will have. Obviously, if a caution comes out, certainly changes every aspect of that. See how it plays out as Millett's down 4 tires and fuel, 14.72 seconds in the box. Millett rejoining the track. Keaton Burnett still out in front. Keaton's got a full second on the 1 of Drew Blaze. Chris Jones, Joe Tucker, Drew Prohl. That's the top 5. Then you've got Ken Couch, Michael Cole, Jesse Redding, and Justin Johnson back to 9th. That is your lead lap standings. Zach Millett in 10th. First car 1 lap down. That could work out in his favor, too, at least at this point. He is the first car 1 lap down, but maybe not for long as Justin Johnson peels off the racetrack for his scheduled stop of the afternoon. Tucker, Drew Prohl battling for the 5th position here, lap 141. Prohl up high, Tucker on the bottom. Gonna wonder how much tire did Tucker use up trying to get by the 315 of Millett there. Again, everyone's still gonna have to make a stop here, I believe, whether it be for fuel or tires. Nonetheless, it's going to happen. 26 laps still to go. Leaders were on pit road last at lap 90. You got a few guys that have taken the opportunity at this stage. Zach Millett, Justin Johnson. Millett lap 137, Justin lap 139. They've shown an ability to go 65, maybe 70 laps on a full tank. There is a possibility that we might see these leaders stay out. It may be awfully close. 67, they went back green. I think it was, let's go back through here. Let's try and get some strategy played into this. Green flag came out. Imagine it was that many laps, but the caution came out. I think that was lap 86. Pit stops happened at lap 90. And lap 91 they went back to green. So that means they would have to go 76 laps on a tank of fuel and a set of tires. I don't know that they're going to be able to make that work. It's hard to say if the leaders, Justin Johnson and Drew Blaze, at the time, if they went the full distance on fuel. It's a possibility. So far, top 8 cars yet to see pit lane. Zach Millett was the first to pull off. Justin Johnson did follow. Justin back in the gas, though. He's gone around Drew Blaze. Blaze runs second. Justin's going to set his sights on Keaton Burnett here, trying to get that lap back. As it stands now, caution comes out. It's not going to matter. Justin Johnson back on the lead lap the old-fashioned way. Now the lucky dog would go to Zach Millett. Zach on fresher tires, but if the caution were to come out, Zach still does have a set on pit lane that he can use up in that instance. So that could play in his favor. He would have to be at the rear of the field, as he would not be able to pit with the leaders if he took that lucky dog. Other drivers taking the opportunity to pit: Chris Goins, Drew Kroll, Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding, all on the pits. Jonathan Arnn as well, though not on the lead lap. Here it is. See how long Drew Blaze hangs out this time. Keaton Burnett and Michael Cole now the top 3. Ken Couch is in as well. 08 Nationwide Insurance entry. And Drew Blaze is down the pit lane here. Locks it up on entry. Hopefully didn't get in too hot. Doesn't want to get that speeding penalty. That would certainly not bode well with 20 laps to go. Saw Keaton Burnett get away with it, but it took him some time and a caution flag to get him back into the lead lap. Drew Blaze in the pit box, a little crooked. Right side's going on. Crew around to the left. 4 tires and fuel for the Miller Genuine Draft #1 machine. No pit road speeding penalty. He's down and away. Keaton Burnett now as the leader. He's in the pit box. Let's hope he got this one right and did not speed on pits. Number 26 machine stops in that #1 pit box at the end of pit road. Right side's in the air. Can't imagine it's 2 tires. Yep, 4 tires stop. Just got to dump the clutch and go. Meanwhile, Michael Cole takes over the top spot. Last driver in the field to not pit. His last stop was lap 90, and it looks like he has taken that opportunity now to do just that. It's going to cycle Zach Millett to the front of the field with 19 laps to go. Now that's going to be the question. Did Zach get enough out of the car on the fresher rubber to do the undercut, so to speak? Okay, get some more lap pace out of those Goodyear Eagles on the fresher tires than the rest of the field. Does he have enough of an advantage with the drivers in behind that have just recently pit to maintain that? It's going to be tough. Drew Blaze is 7 seconds behind. He's got his pit work done. The difference between those 2 drivers, 10 laps. Drew Blaze, 10 lap fresher tires on that #1 machine. We'll have to see if Zach can hold him off. Looks like a little bit of right front damage to that machine as well. Maybe I'm just seeing that funny. Could just be the Toyota body lines on that machine. So let's look at the lap times here. Zach Millett, last time by a 31:23. Drew Blaze, oh, he's quick. A whole second and a tenth faster. 30.13 seconds for Drew Blaze. Drew is in full attack mode, trying to get back to the front of this field to put the challenge to Zach Millett. Got a race in behind them for the 08 and the 721. Jesse Redding, Ken Couch, that is for position 8th spot. That is Jesse Redding takes it. Ken Couch now back to 9th. Top 7 are the lead lap cars. Redding from 8th on back, all laps down. Redding would get the lucky dog if the caution were to fall. And Jesse Redding on fresh tires going to make short work of Zach Millett into 3. Millett's just going to let him go on by. Redding now gets his lap back. He's back on the lead lap in 8th. Ken Couch now the lucky dog. $14 laps to go. Zach Millett still out in front, but that deficit down to 3.6 seconds. Drew Blaze turning laps like a man with nothing to lose. Last lap for Blaze, 30:59. Millett, 31:50. 2 or 3 laps. Blaze is going to be right at the back bumper of Zach Millett. I got to wonder if Millett is just saving some tires. Don't know what he's going to be able to do with Drew Blaze once he gets there. Blaze has got pace everywhere we go, and he's got 10 lap newer tires than the leader. $13 laps to go. Millett still has the lead. It's down to 2.2 seconds back to Drew Blaze. Basically the length of the dog leg at this point. 12 laps to go. Drew Blaze has to make short work of the 08 of Ken Couch. Lap car between himself and the leader. Couch drops down to the low side, giving Blaze up top. Blaze doesn't have the pace just yet to get by on the straightaway. They're into 3 and 4. Not where Drew wanted to catch the 08 of Ken Couch. It's going to slow him up just a bit, and almost contact between the two. Couch trying to get out of the way. Blaze down to the bottom now, trying to make that pass. 11 laps to go. The deficit now 1.4 seconds. Even with that, Blaze is catching Millett very quickly. There it is, Zach Millett, Drew Blaze, the top two, 1 second between these two drivers. I got to wonder if these laps are starting to equalize. It looks that it may have. Drew Blaze at 31:13, Millett still slower at 31:55, but the tires are starting to get very similar. We saw this earlier on in the race, where it got to a certain point where it didn't matter how close you were on tires. They were all going to give you what they were going to give you. Millett and Blaze cross the start-finish line, 9 laps to go. Drew Blaze getting awfully big in the rear-view mirror of Zach Millett. He is there. Drew Blaze looking to the low side, off of 2, side by side with Millett, down the back straightaway, and here comes Keaton Burnett. Keaton's in this mix as well. Millett's going to lose the lead at a minimum, possibly even second spot. Keaton Burnett following the 1. Burnett drops it to the low side. Maybe he was going to try and look at the lead as well, get in the mirror of Drew Blaze. Millett still hanging tough to the right rear of the 26. They work into turn 1. Drew Blaze, your new leader at the front of this field with less than 8 laps to go. Down the back straightaway, Keaton Burnett has taken over the second spot. Zach Millett has slipped to third. I think at this stage of the race, the only thing that can save Zach Millett is a caution flag. Never mind saving Zach Millett. Keaton Burnett on the charge in the second spot, right to the back bumper of Drew Blaze. With 7 laps to go, Keaton wants this win. He had a pit road speeding penalty early on in the first stop, battled his way back from a lap down. Now he's second spot with 7 laps to go, right behind Drew Blaze. Can he do anything with the 1 to work off turn number 4? Last lap for Keaton Burnett, 31:09 to Drew Blaze, 31:12. Equally matched, at least for now. Keaton Burnett does have a little bit newer tires, only 1 lap fresher than Drew Blaze. We'll see if it makes a difference here with 6 laps to go. Keaton backs off the entry a little bit, does close the gap mid-corner. Drew Blaze slips a little off turn 4, gets the left sides on that white line, upsets the car. Across the line, though, 5 laps to go. Drew Blaze still in command. Keaton Burnett takes a look to the inside. We've seen this move a couple of times this afternoon. Can he make it stick? Down to the bottom, right front into the left rear of Drew Blaze. Almost contact. If there wasn't, I don't know. That was awfully close. Keaton Burnett slips back in behind Drew Blaze. Does appear Keaton's got the pace. He is quick. Keaton's going to have to back it off. Try it another time. 2 to 3 car lengths between Drew Blaze and Keaton Burnett. This is for the top spot. 4 laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway. Keaton Burnett dives it down into turn 1 once again. Does seem to be that through the dog leg into 1 is his best place on the racetrack. You have some lap traffic up ahead as well. Not sure if that's going to come into the mix as we see Chris Goins going for the 3rd spot on Zach Millett. Meanwhile, the battle still out front. 3.5 laps to go. Drew Blaze still out in front. Car length back. Keaton Burnett has pace once again. We'll see if Burnett can close the gap into turn number 1. 3 laps to go. Caution comes out. Caution on the speedway. Jonathan Arn, unfortunately, once again, trouble on the back straightaway. Jonathan Arn involved in this one. Maybe a single car spin. He tried to keep it down to the bottom of the racetrack, but wasn't able to prevent the yellow from coming out. Must be we had the same officials here tonight as we had the All-Star race the other day. Take a look at it, see what happened with the 43 of Arn, with 3 laps to go. Under the caution flag for only the 2nd time this afternoon. This is going to change a lot. I think everybody's got a set of tires, so it's going to be a dash to the finish. Yeah, Arn gets into the outside safer barrier, pancakes the inside wall, and spins it backwards. Yeah, it's a tough call. That late in the race, don't call it. He's able to drive away from it. He tried to get back in the throttle. Doesn't look like he's really in the way. Maybe it's because he backed up. Might have come out because he backed up. We'll see. Well, either way, caution's out. Let's see what the leaders do. I can only imagine they're going to pit. And I think Drew Blaze has a decision to make. If he stays out, everybody pits. If he goes down pit lane, guys might stay out. Stays on the racetrack. Nope. Never mind. Just kidding. Top 4 all down, including Drew Prohl. Top 5. Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding. Joe Tucker stays. Nope. Joe Tucker does hit the pit lane. Jesse Redding stays on the racetrack. Justin Johnson down pit lane as well. Does anybody gamble with 2 tires? Guess that's the question. Right sides for certain on Drew Blaze, as well as Zach Millett, Keaton Burnett. Yep, 4 tires and fuel. Oh, Drew Blaze is down and away. He's going to win the race off of pit road. 14.87 seconds. Drew Prohl, 11.9 seconds. There was their 2-tire stop we talked about. It's like everybody else, 4 tires. Well, this is going to put us in overtime for sure. Again, we talked about it early in pre-race. 2 opportunities at a green, white, checkered finish. So we do have that going for us. This will be our first attempt. Drew Blaze is going to restart as the leader. Drew Prohl will start to his outside. However, Prohl took 2 tires for that track position. We'll have to see how that works for the rest of the guys in behind. Zach Millett's going to restart 3rd. That'll be right behind the 1 of Drew Blaze. See Justin Johnson here running 9th, right ahead of Drew Blaze. He's going to get the wave around here at the 1 to go signal. Well, it's the Lonestar Shootout. They don't call it that for nothing. We're certainly going to have one here with a green, white, checkered finish to settle it. Fresh tires for all involved, at least the top 7. Took the opportunity to take tires. Drew Prohl, though, he's going to be the wild card. He took right sides only. You got to wonder if these guys practiced it. These cars can really act funny. Not just the Cup cars, but a lot of them. If you just take right side tires, can certainly disrupt the handling, change the characteristics. A lot of cases, they end up super, super loose. Gonna have to see how Drew Prohl handles that change in handling as we go back to the green flag. Hopefully he doesn't wad up the field behind him. That could be bad, but I think Drew's got it. He's got plenty of confidence behind the wheel. That Miller Lite machine, I'm sure he can get it done. Well, it's crunch time. Again, we've got 2 opportunities at a green-white checkered finish. This will be our first attempt at it. Pace car lights go out. Justin Johnson going to get the wave around, get out of the leader's way here. He's going to cycle back around to the tail end of the field, getting ready to go back to the green flag to settle it here from Texas. And guys, don't forget to tune in next week. Today we're at Texas. Next week we are at Homestead Miami Speedway for 134 laps of action out there. Then, of course, Pocono, Phoenix, Dover, and Daytona. Unfortunately, Dover will not be televised, at least not by HBR TV. Unfortunately, we'll be out of town on a race trip. We'll be back for June 30th at Daytona. 80 laps to settle this championship in the LSR Cup Series. Here we go. Field lined up 2 by 2. Drew Blaze, the leader, on the inside. Drew Prohl on 2 tires to the high side. Third down low, Zach Millett. Chris Goins up top. Keaton Burnett restarting 5th. Also on the bottom, I think you got your 3 fastest cars in that low lane. We'll have to see how this one plays out. It's going to get interesting. Pace car is down. Drew Blaze is in the throttle. We're back underway from Texas Motor Speedway. Big jump by Drew Blaze. Drew Blaze out to a big advantage, half a second already here. 2 laps to go. They're down the back straightaway. Drew Prohl quickly disposed of, back in the 5th spot. Zach Millett up to 2nd. Keaton Burnett knocking on the back door, looking to the inside into turn number 3, wants that 2nd spot. Keaton's got some pace. Keaton now still side by side off turn 4 with Millett for 2nd spot. Drew Blaze is loving this, gonna get away here. Last lap, Keaton Burnett to the inside, still trying to take over that position. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze at the front of the field started 5th this afternoon, working his way towards the front, played the strategy well. Caution comes out late. So far, so good. The battle here rages for the 2nd spot. Drew Blaze is going to cruise to a victory. We'll keep an eye on this one here. Zach Millett, Keaton Burnett. Now Chris Goins looks to the high side. They come to the line. Looks like Zach might have gotten 2nd. Burnett 3rd. Chris Goins 4th. Drew Prohl hangs on to a top 5. And of course, Drew Blaze, your winner here at Texas. Drew Blaze victorious here. The Nueve Designs Lonestar Shootout 167 crosses the line first, takes the checkered flag. We're going to step aside here for just a brief moment, maybe two, get our top three into the broadcast booth and have a word after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Texas Motor Speedway, the Lonestar Shootout 167, presented by Nueve Designs. It's all said and done here. Quick race, only two cautions all afternoon, but Drew Blaze takes home the checkered flag. Let's try to get a word with the driver of the one, our winner, Drew Blaze. It's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Drew, man, congratulations. That was interesting. I know we only had a couple of cautions all afternoon, so tire strategy was going to be key. It actually kind of seemed to work out. Those tires lasted a lot longer. Once they kind of leveled off, they stayed that way for quite a while, so everybody had a set. But tell us about the strategy coming down to the finish. I know that caution came out last minute. We had a green-white checker. What were your thoughts when that yellow dropped?
Yeah, I didn't want to see most of the yellows, especially that one. But I mean, you know, I was in the lead. I knew I could get a good restart. I just, locked in and just got a good jump there and was able to get a little gap, and that's just all I needed.
Well, Drew, you certainly look stout out there. Usually we see you qualify a little bit higher up in the field. I think it was 5th place starting position. Did you have an issue in qualifying or just didn't get the lap you wanted?
I just didn't get the lap I wanted. I felt like I was pushing the wheel back, so I just kind of cut my losses and came in with the plan to save tires however long I could, and I felt great, and I really didn't want to see that first caution that came out because of I think I was about to just turn it on when I was pulling up on Chris and Zach there.
The first pit stop, you and Justin Johnson went quite a ways versus the rest of the field that decided they were going to pit a little bit earlier. You guys went, I think, about 15, 20 laps further. Did you just go to the end of the fuel run there, or did you still stop a little bit short?
Oh, I went to the end of the fuel run. I had about a half a gallon in my tank, so yeah, I was just pushing it as long as I could because I knew when I would, come out, those guys would have so many laps on the tires, and I could just kind of even conserve and still gain on them. So
certainly a lot of strategy played here this afternoon at Texas. Nicely done. Strategy and a solid pace out of the driver of the one. Drew, congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank?
Of course, I got to thank my whole team, Lonestar Racing, putting this on, and it's been a lot of fun. Just everybody who's watching, everybody who came out and drove. And I got to thank the Den Zones and Brian Romer, the sponsors. And thank you for putting on the broadcast. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Drew. Good luck next week at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Thank you, sir.
Drew Blaze, your winner here at the Texas Lonestar Shootout, the Lonestar Shootout 167, that is. Next, we're going to go to second place finisher Zach Millett. Came down real close with himself and Keaton Burnett. Zach, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Steve, what's up, man?
Zach, not quite the finish you wanted. Again, a P2. It's a little better than you ended up last week. Not on the back of a tow truck this time, but tell us about your night tire strategy. My opinion, it seemed like you burned the rubber off that thing a little bit too early. Drew Blaze got to the back bumper awfully quick. Again, fresher tires for the one. Tell us what the thought process was coming into tonight and how you held off Keaton Burnett for second.
Well, it was definitely a struggle trying to keep tires on it. I enjoyed the short run. They were fun, but yeah, I think I was talking to the guys just a minute ago, and it was about 26 laps or so. Yeah, I was smoking, just smoking right off the car. But it was fun going in the last turn with Keaton. I knew he was going to race me clean, so we were pretty tight right to the line.
Seemed like a lot of you guys had the same strategy, maybe less you than the rest of them. You got that fast lap real early on in the race, but it looks like Drew Blaze picked up the pace, beat you by half a tenth, and Keaton Burnett beat you by 0.02 of a second as far as that fastest lap. Those two didn't turn 29s until the last 5 laps of the race. Were you really going out trying to save, or were you again just? I know you're kind of a full send guy, and it seemed that might have been the case tonight.
Oh yeah, full send all the time, no matter what. No strategy. Just put tires on it, send it, hope for the best, expect the worst.
Well, second place finish, it's not too shabby. I'm sure you'll take it and walk away, but guys, be careful. If Millet decides he's going to start working some strategy here, people might be in trouble. It looks like these Lone Star Racing guys are starting to catch on to your games, Millet. They're finding a way to beat you, so you got to pick up your game.
Absolutely. That's my favorite thing. Only makes you better.
Before we let you go, Zach, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV. I'd like to thank all you guys in HBR for helping me out on this track, because I just got it today. It helped me out a lot. And LSR guys, it's been a lot of fun racing with these guys. Look forward to it. And shoot me a follow on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram at that S4 guy.
Zach Millet, your second place finisher here at Texas Motor Speedway. Next, we're going to go to who I really thought had the best chance to win this thing tonight was Keaton Burnett. Keaton, it's Steve in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Keaton, man, tough break, third place finish, hard fought for that, even as it was. You didn't have the fastest lap of the day, but you only missed it by about 0.03 of a second. But from a visual point of view, you seem to have the fastest car out there. Is this place just suit your driving style, or did you just have that raw pace? What was the secret tonight? Because you seemed fast, and again, I had you pegged to win this thing.
I really don't know. I didn't think I was much better than any of the other guys really coming into it. I don't know if I was just a little better at saving the tires or what, but man, I was just flying. I don't really know. I like this track a lot. It's probably up there with Charlotte for one of my favorites.
It's like a Charlotte on steroids, certainly a little bit faster pace. Again, you looked real smooth, real fast out there. I think there's not a scratch on that car up until maybe the last couple of laps, or certainly the cool down lap. I think you nosed that thing hard into the safer barrier, but these things will happen. What was your thought process there on that last caution? We went to a green, white checkered finish. Everybody had an opportunity to take tires. A great battle between yourself and Zach Millet. Almost edged him out there at the line, but just not quite enough. What did you need?
I really don't know. We actually, me and Zach made a little contact on pit road, and that sent me too far left, so I lost a couple spots. But I think, honestly, I probably would have been better off to try and pass him on the outside if I had that run coming up towards the finish, but I couldn't have stuck 3 and 4 any better there. He just barely nosed me out.
Well, certainly entertaining from the broadcast perspective. Everybody that tuned in to the stream tonight certainly had a treat there at the end for sure. Again, congratulations, Keaton. Another top 3 here at Texas. Before we let you get out of here, is there anyone that you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Fahey Race Wraps and thank LSR for putting on this league. We got a lot of good guys in here. Thanks to you for broadcasting. You do a freaking awesome job. And shout out to Dad. I know he's watching.
All right, Keaton, again, congratulations, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Good luck next week at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Thank you, buddy.
It's a very dismal Keaton Burnett. Tough break. I know it's a top 3. It's a good finish, but man, I've heard Keaton talk plenty. and he's usually in a lot better mood than that. Definitely scratching his head, wondering what he could have done differently. I'm betting. It was still a great race, though. The top three really made it entertaining to watch, especially on that last green, white checkered finish. But the rest of the finishers, Chris Goins was 4th. Drew Prohl finishes in the 5th position. 6th place was Jesse Redding. Joe Tucker, 7th. Justin Johnson battled back to a lead lap, 8th place. Ken Couch, 9th. Michael Cole, 10th. Cody Anderson was 11th. Britt Osborne, Jonathan Arn, 12th and 13th. Kevin Blue, last place, 14th position, 44 laps down for the Blue. Tough break for the 54. I don't know exactly what happened with him. I know he was laps down for an early pit, maybe some contact damage on that vehicle, but checked out a little bit early, did Kevin Blue. Maybe better luck next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Really going to wrap it up for us here at Howler Boys Racing TV. It's been another enjoyable night here with the LSR Cup Series. Putting on a great show here at Texas Motor Speedway. It's always a good show. The thing I'm seeing a lot here, though, is a lot of clean racing. I know we've only got 14 cars here tonight, but it's coming up on a holiday weekend. Some guys are already on that vacation, so still a pretty solid field. Next week at Homestead Miami Speedway, next Thursday, 8:45 in the East, we're going to be live, so make sure you tune in for that. Again, we're getting down to crunch time here. Only about 5 races left now. We've completed Texas. Going to Homestead, as we said, June 2nd, Pocono on the 9th, Phoenix Raceway on June the 16th. June 23rd, it is Dover, but unfortunately, I will not be available for that one. I don't know if Justin's got plans to try and get someone to cover it. But nonetheless, I will be back here June 30th for Daytona, 80 laps to settle it. That one is just going to be a wild card. It always is, whether you're watching a real cup race or otherwise, but it's going to be the same here. So that's the balance of the schedule here, the LSR Cup Series. That wraps it up for us here tonight. Thank you guys all for watching. Again, sorry for a little bit of drop frame issue. We're still trying to battle that. I had the internet service provider down here tonight. Everything's good. Yeah, you're ready to roll. Yeah, not even close. But we're still trying. We're not going to give up. We've got some new hardware coming in the next week or two, so hopefully that helps things as well. But just stick with us. It'll get better, I promise. The racing's good. Broadcast is good. Could be better, but again, we're working on it. So again, thanks for participation. Thanks for talking in the stream chat. Those of you that did, some of the racers that couldn't make it tonight, thank you for saying hi. Make sure you please like, follow, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on, click the bell. You know, all them fancy streamer buzzwords. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm almost 40 years old. I shouldn't be streaming, but I am. It's fun, and that's what we do here at HBR TV. So, gonna wrap it up. Congratulations to Drew Blaze, Zach Millett, Keaton Burnett, your top 3 finishers here at Texas Motor Speedway. The Nueve Designs Lone Star Shootout 167. It's in the books. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.